So the game then ends in a 1-1 draw in Venezuela. Otamendi for Argentina and Rondon for Venezuela, your goal scorers in this one. But again, the big storyline, the conditions of the field. Lionel Scaloni, the manager for Argentina, here's what he had to say, quote, "It did not meet the minimal conditions for a football game. You couldn't play. We did what we had to do, but the conditions of the playing field were not for a match against two teams of this kind of level."
Okay.
Ale, Argentina making too big a deal
Okay, Ali.
of the field conditions here.
No, wait, you're missing the last part there.
Lionel Scaloni, you're right. Two teams of this level.
There it is.
Yes.
There it is.
Venezuela at the level of Argentina. I'll take that, Scaloni. Yeah. I understand his point, and he is 100% correct. Honestly, the conditions dictated how the game was going to be played, and my wife always tells me that she's visual when I explain something. So let me be very visual about this. If Argentina is up here and Venezuela is down here,
yes,
then look, frankly, the conditions of the field even out what may be a shortage of talent for Venezuela comparatively with Argentina. And so now it becomes about a fight. Now it becomes about challenges. Now it becomes about duels. Again, let me be visual. If Argentina's up here and Venezuela's here, the field does this, those conditions, and now we're even. Yeah. And that's obvious to see, that it became a different type of game. Every match for CONMEBOL has a match official, a match commissioner, somebody who is in charge of making the decisions for this sort of game to go forward. Now, that match commissioner would have been in contact with CONMEBOL and say, hey, man, it's kind of crazy out here. The ball doesn't roll, the ball doesn't move. And then I am sure that the response from CONMEBOL is, well, when do you think we're going to play this game? And that's when we get into a situation in which scheduling is a problem. And it changes the way that you prepare for games. If you're Venezuela and you're Argentina and you know that there is a game somewhere further down the line, when are you going to schedule that game? It changes the standings. It changes the approach to games because you need points, because now if you're Venezuela, you don't know exactly how to prepare for certain games because you don't know what points you have available. And if you're Venezuela, you're not looking for a game against Argentina as a game in which you're going to get points to begin with. So it affects the whole dynamic of scheduling and game preparation, as well as when are you going to do this? And when are you going to do this so that other teams don't have a competitive advantage? You couldn't have done it when there is a game coming up in 3 days. That was never going to happen. And so match commissioner probably said, we play on. I can also tell you that Fernando Batista, the coach for Venezuela, would have taken the match commissioner down to the one corner that was dry-ish and shown how the ball was actually running, saying, we can play. Hey, it's not perfect, but we can play. The coach for Venezuela would have loved, well, not loved, but would certainly have preferred to have played the game over Scaloni, because as I said, it puts these teams at an equal level that we know they're not at equal level. And yet, the conditions of the field certainly made it so.
You surprised Messi played, given the conditions?
I'm not surprised he played, because Messi makes his own decisions. It doesn't matter what coach he's had throughout his career. That's going to be the case right there. I am surprised he chose to play in these type of conditions for as long as he did. And oftentimes in this game, if I'm Scaloni and I'm sitting there, I'm like, maybe I take him out, because this is...
It was getting physical.
Very
on top of the
physical.
ring. Yeah.
And to Ali's point, a game where it's going to be more about emotion, fight, physicality. The quality will go out the window because there is that even playing field. So if I know it's going to be that type of battle, maybe I take him out. But then maybe, just maybe, I leave him in for the very chance that he had when Rodrigo de Paul slips in a very, very nice ball. And it comes to his right foot and not that left foot. And you would assume that a player to his standard, because that's what he's shown us day in and day out, would put that away, and he does it. But you're hoping he's there for that. You're hoping he's there for the service. You're hoping he's there for that moment of magic. But given his injury history, certainly would have thought twice about it. This is the famous, this field, la cancha come piernas. Like it eats your legs up. That's what they say, and it drains you physically. I've been in these type of matches, and you come out of it very depleted. He's no spring chicken anymore.
All right. I will say about the conditions themselves. There were many, not just a couple, but many situations in which both teams were getting out in a transition, out on a counter. We're about to go and commit numbers in the attack, and the ball stops.
Yeah.
Or you try to go play the ball forward, and the ball stops. And so it just affected every aspect of the game. Now,
Venezuela had some of those chances too.
Absolutely. And that's why there was a moment in which Salomon Rondon gets in behind. And he's actually, when he's about to approach the ball, you can tell that the thought process is going through his head. It's like, I don't know if this ball is going to stop or if I got to take an extra touch. And in that sort of doubt and that sort of question, Petzela comes across and makes a challenge. And just it's because you're guessing. And so, of course, it impacts the game. It impacts the quality of the game. But truth be told, if you're Venezuela, you take the point and you run away until your next match. You say, yep, we'll take a point with Argentina, and therefore, ¡Vamos, Venezuela!